Twitch. Welcome to another episode. Let me bring my
Thank-
players in. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Mr. Jingo.
How are y'all today? Hope you're ready for some piratey stuff.
Always.
Oh,
Yes.
Alethea will be along momentarily.
There's Napes.
Hey, I'm here.
Hey,
Ugh,
hey.
I hate how dry it is. I need a humidifier really badly.
I
Yeah.
was worried about that very thing. I was like, I'm going to have a bloody nose this morning.
Yep, because it's I don't know what it is there, but well, actually, it's above zero here, so it's near shorts weather. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's been, I think it got down to 7 degrees last couple of days, 5 degrees, something like that. But it's
Oh, yeah.
no humidity.
Yeah, well, there's yesterday we were at below zero, so it was like, yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
No, thank the gods I don't live there.
Right?
I can't do it. I just can't do it. I'm a wimp when it comes to the cold. That's why I
Well,
live in a hot, dry place.
yeah, and I mean, I don't mind like the heat without the humidity is fantastic. I loved it when I was down there. We were down there for almost 2 weeks and it was fantastic. But that 100 and something degree heat, there is a limit to what I can handle.
You'd
But-
be surprised.
Yeah, but
You know how
Tell
we
you
deal-
what.
You know how we deal with it?
You
We
stay
stay
inside.
We don't.
We stay
We go
inside.
from inside to inside, and when we can't be
And-
inside, we get in our air-conditioned car because owning a car
Yep.
that doesn't have air conditioning is not an option.
Well, yeah, it is, but it's
Exactly.
kind of
It is.
suicidal.
It is if you're poor and can't afford better, and
Exactly.
I don't knock people for driving whatever they drive because
And then you
I
just
drove an
really
unair
fast.
conditioned POS for a number of years.
Yeah, you and me both.
It's brutal, but you got to do what you got to do. But, phew.
Exactly. So, let me try to get connected here because okay, that's
Oh, good. All right. The first thing we're going to start
connected.
with is you guys remember that last time you ran into the fish people, and they claimed one of your crew as one of their own, and then left you
They
alone.
did.
Yes,
Yeah.
And you
rat
guys
bastard.
are moving on to the west, and you can see the rest of your crew is a little bit rattled by this, and even Lieutenant Jeffers is a little bit rattled by this, although he will he will not fail to mention at least once that um, he was the only one among you that actually got a kill on those creatures.
Jeffers. Yeah.
Yes, he did. He killed
Mhm.
one. Nobody
Yeah.
else did. Also,
And I'll say,
let's-
well, then they'll be coming after you.
oh yeah, trust me, your history with the fishmen is not over.
Not good. No.
No, well, it's not over yet either.
I didn't
but-
think so because fish people were on the ocean. They're always gonna be
Yes,
there.
Trying to look up here.
All right, let's see.
Initial reactions, etc., etc. So, because I had this looked up before.
Jingo, I forgot something upstairs. I'll be back in 30 seconds. I'm listening.
All right, all good, all good. The first thing I'm gonna let you guys know is that you have an advance coming.
Woohoo!
Paul, because you're new, what an advance is you can use it to add an edge that you meet the requirements for. You can add up to 2 points to skills that are below their attendant attributes, or you can raise one skill a die above its attendant attribute. You may also, once per rank, increase an attribute score by 1 die.
In other words, we get to level up a little bit.
You get to level up a little bit. Every 4 advances moves you to the next rank.
Yep.
Right now you're seasoned.
Yep.
So you can look through the
Thank God, because we would have never lived through that if we were, you know.
and I already discussed with your captain that your crew gets advances as well. Every time you guys get an advance, they get an advance. They don't get as much as you guys do because, well, they're just crew. And good morning, Mr. Sin.
So
Right.
what do I
Um,
get for the advance again?
you can have a new edge.
Okay. So I got to look those up.
You
Is
can
there?
increase one attribute by a die type, and you can either increase two skills each by a die type, as long as it doesn't exceed your attribute, or you can have one skill exceed its attribute by a die type. You may also, you know, the increase by a die type also counts on new skills. So you could take two new skills at a D4, or take a new skill and have it at a D6 if you have the attribute to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
each advance is pretty substantial. Spencer77, thank you for the biddies.
And so we're gonna keep our
Huzzah
adventure
to the
cards.
tipper.
We're gonna keep our adventure cards
I already dealt
until
you
we
new.
use them.
I already
'Cause
dealt you new adventure cards and new bennies. If you look at what you got, you've got new ones, or you should. Either that, or it replaced the ones that were gone and left you with the other one. I don't know how it works, but I went
mine
through
are
and
the same, but that's okay because
if you didn't
I,
use them, then
I
they
like these.
probably didn't change.
Okay, I like them.
But
So
it will have replaced any of them that got used.
I'm so tempted by one of mine, but I'm not going to do it. I find bennies more helpful than extra cards.
depends on the cards. I got some good ones. I just need to use them. But let's see. I need to do.
Sven, if you have the points to do it, I'm talking to Sven. He's about to screw you guys over.
Of course.
Oh,
Sven,
yes.
if you have the points to do it,
Termites on the ship.
for 2,500 points, you can complicate
Really?
matters.
I mean, come
Sven?
on. We just had fish people. We don't need termites on top of it, for crying out loud. Oh, that's what I want. I need to get to pinned messages.
Yeah, I pinned your proper link.
So I can take one attribute and level it up a die. So for
absolutely.
instance,
Yeah.
I can take a spirit of 6 and turn it into a D8.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or
Or-
a strength of 8 and turn it into a D10.
Which would make you pretty damn strong.
Yeah. Okay.
Looking at mine and doing the math, Jingo, it appears I've already taken that once per rank attribute increase.
You probably took it right at season.
Right, yeah, right at season, because I've got 6 points spent in attributes
Now,
already.
did you spend any of your initial starting edges on that? And remember that your season, you might have spent a point during novice on it as well.
Yeah. And because we're human, we
Oh.
get an extra edge.
Yeah, well, everybody
At
should have got
creation?
started with the free edge.
Should have or should not have. Okay.
Yes, Sven, the Ship of Fools
All right, Jingo,
is
you should have
generous with its tots
my
of rum.
feed.
I see you now. I see
Okay.
You now. All right, now.
Can you see me now?
What I was looking for, and I was looking right at it the other day, was allies. There we go.
Good song.
I'm trying to find where it discusses reactions and such. Maybe under two.
I don't-
Reactions.
Oh, does it? Okay. I was gonna say I don't know if it does, but apparently it does.
It does. I'm going to say that when you guys started, technically no, Sven. This game takes place on historical Earth, but it does have supernatural elements. They ran into fish people last time. But no, there are no non-human humanoids, at least not available as player characters. All right. I'm going to say that he started out as hostile, but the fact that you didn't maroon him to death in a lifeboat um, steered him to unfriendly. Now, you guys have been at sea for some time and have survived a combat encounter with him. What I'm going to need is some sort of social interaction from no, Sven. Benny's some sort of social interaction from one or more of you guys to start bringing him to a more neutral or more cooperative. Right now he is unfriendly. He's not interested in helping unless he has little choice and or is offered a substantial payment or reward. Being attacked by fish people falls into the didn't really have a choice. With a good
Right.
persuasion or perhaps an intimidation roll, you might get him to uncooperative or neutral depending on raises. And that, you know, I think what we'll do is we'll give you this check once per session to see if you can improve his quality. Um,
Okay.
one of you can make the check, but it can be assisted.
I have a D8 in persuasion, and I think the time to do it would be. I mean, we're dining with the man every night.
Oh
He
yeah,
has his
this is
weapons.
a little tiny boat. There's no
Mhm.
time when you guys are not in each other's faces at all times.
Right.
Except for when we're sleeping, of course.
Yeah, there is not a lot of privacy. Even when
Hmm.
you're sleeping, there's probably somebody else sleeping in that cabin.
Oh yeah. That's where hammocks were slung across the
Between the cannons.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah, between the cannons or what have you. Yep.
But
Because then you can be like wrapped up in your little thing all to yourself and have your own thoughts.
Who's the sly one amongst us? I envision that being Napes, the
That
sweet
that would be
talker.
me.
The
give me a
That
moment.
that
I'm going to address
sweet
Sven
talker.
in chat.
Well,
Sven,
Okay.
bennies can be used at
Well, it wouldn't
any
be me.
time, and they do a wide
no, you'd be
variety
like,
of crazy things.
shut
Also,
up.
if
Yep.
you
I'd
redeem,
be like,
give a
stitch
Benny,
that, you bastard!
you have to tell me who you're giving the Benny
Right.
to. One of the player characters, one of the NPCs, or the game
I
master.
gotta get my phone on
No, I'm not too friendly.
Twitch.
Oh, by the way, I noticed there's an option. Jingo may have it. He's actually talking to Sven right now. But
I'm back. I'm listening.
in the options, there it was something that was like show bennies or whatever. I was looking through it yesterday when I was setting up some stuff, and
Oh, maybe I have it turned off. Anyways, I'm Sven in the chat. Redeemed a Benny for Napes.
Oh,
So
thank you.
you get an extra Benny.
Woohoo!
Anyways, Marv, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
that's all right, buddy. I don't want to sidetrack the show either. So roll that beautiful beam
I see.
footage.
I'm looking through the options myself to see if it shows. Let's see. Benny type. DeFi. I see it changed.
There they are. There they are. You had to pick a type.
Oh yeah, no, I see him.
Oh, look!
Yeah,
Yay!
we'll go with skulls. I think I have pieces of 8. Thought I had pieces of 8. No, I don't. I'd have to load my 50 fathoms module, get pieces of 8. But
Yeah.
all right, there we go. Boom.
Those are fine. You know.
They work. At least I can see how many bennies I have now.
Well, you can
I
see
can,
that
I
on
can see him
your
on the portrait.
on our portraits.
So yeah, but it's a nice stack.
Well, now I can. Last week I couldn't.
And if we ever get the chance
really?
to play this in person,
Uh-huh.
playing this game, shuffling cards around the table and flipping poker chips for bennies
Fun.
is
Oh, yeah.
just it adds to the fun in a
You know,
way
if
that you
I-
wouldn't think it would.
if I ever come down there and we can play this in person, I actually have like piratey coins that I can bring with me.
I have all
That we were,
kinds of piratey stuff. In fact,
yeah.
where's it at here? I found it the other day,
Oh.
and now I can't find it again.
Yeah, what we ought to do is rent a Airbnb somewhere, say
Yeah.
say Colorado, and we can all kind of meet there in the
middle.
Well, I
middle.
don't know. It could be cold in Colorado. They might be a little, not
No,
so
I've been
cool
to
about being in
Colorado.
Colorado.
We're
Look, we don't
freaking
mind visiting
gamers,
the
man.
cold.
We ain't
We
going
just don't want
outside
to
anyway.
live in it. Is what it really boils down to. I like the snow well enough. It's great. We
I
have snow
recommend
2 hours from
Las
Phoenix.
Vegas. Now, I was going to show you guys something from my SCA days. It's my
Ah.
pirate pimp gun.
Oh God.
Oh wow.
Oh, I love it. Is that a rubber band gun?
No, it's just a replica, but it's a working replica. The trigger mechanism actually works, but no, it's not a real gun. And no, I'm not going to brandish it because I do not want to
No.
get banned by
Not,
Twitch because you can do that.
no,
I
not
just
not
wanted to
by.
show you it is a toy. It is not real, but it
Yeah.
is just a
No.
little
I was
piratey
asking
prop.
if it was a rubber band gun.
No, but I have
Oh,
one of
okay.
those somewhere. I
Oh,
also have. I
that's a
also.
double barrel, right? Yeah.
Yes, I also
Yep.
have a rubber band crossbow somewhere that shoots ping pong balls. Well, it was designed to
Uh,
shoot ping pong balls. However, it shoots magic markers amazingly.
I used to
Really?
sell those
Magic.
things out of the renter.
Yeah, it'll shoot a magic marker an amazing distance.
So yeah, no. In the SCA, there's I do the rapier fighting, which is very much your piratey kind of thing. Also, Three Musketeers,
I have friends out there
and
Yeah.
that are rapier fighters.
Jingo and I both used to fight in the SCA.
oh wow. But you've got the rubber band guns that shoot the big, thick rubber bands that you can, you actually feel it when they hit you, at least mostly, because it's the big, thick, round
Oh yeah. Well,
ones.
trust me, hitting each other with sticks, you feel it.
Oh yeah.
Even if you got a piece of steel on, you feel
Yep.
it.
Oh yeah, I know.
With a padded medicine underneath. Yeah, you feel it.
That's why I chose rapier and not heavy fighting, because
Hard
it's like
suit.
if I
Hard
want to get
suits.
hit that hard.
But it's
Yeah,
kind
but
of
it,
an adrenaline rush. You don't feel it until the next day when the whole left side of your rib cage turns purple and yellow, and you realize, wow, he hit me harder than I thought he did.
Right. Well,
oh yeah.
but I come out of rapier fighting with, about, I don't know,
I am. Let me see if I can stop
dollar
that.
coin sized purple marks, like really, really dark. And I'm like, wow, I hope I took that, because that hit hard. But you get little pokey ones instead of big, huge ones. You get
Oh yeah.
little tiny ones that hurt like hell.
We just had BB gun fights when we were kids, and I
Well,
actually I was the last BB that I
We
dug
had
out of
those too.
myself was I was in my 30s, so I was 30 something years old, and I'm like something kept catching, and I'm like, what the hell, and ended up, what's that bump? And of course, you start digging around at it, and it was on the back of my calf. So I guess at one
ah,
time somebody planted one in me, and I didn't know it.
ow.
Oh yeah, we were mean little shits.
Well, yeah, I guess that's no worse than some of the stories that I heard from, my ex when he was young with his brother and cousin and. Oy. So yeah, but anyway.
Anyways, as you guys handled your advances,
Oh yeah.
Alistair, you are, like I
It's
said, you're trying to bring Lieutenant Jeffers around. I'll take a persuasion roll from you. You seem to be pretty good at it.
I'll try this first time, and then we may have to. Probably looking for a raise with this asshat. Aren't
and no, I'm not getting any static
Uh,
through Sirenscape.
not now.
Shut it down and I'm restarted it. All right.
Oh, okay.
The way I'm going to do this is, if you choose not to take a roll, he will stay at unfriendly, and that won't change. If you take a roll, a success,
Mhm.
will raise it a step. A raise will raise it 2 steps, but a failure on the roll will lower it a step.
Of course.
So
Just
That
looking.
was not a raise, so you know what? I'm gonna play it safe and just take the. Hi, babe. My boss just came home for lunch. Yeah, my boss. You. That would
Oh,
be
well,
you.
yes, yes, I understand that. Because, if you were like, say, at work and it was like an actual boss, generally is not looked well upon if you call them babe.
You
it
know
That's
what?
depends.
opens up a whole other
Yeah, in
world
today's
of
world,
not
no.
okay. Jingo, is there a certain place to like put in advance, or is it just we're keeping track?
I put
Actually,
it on
hold
the.
on, hold on. I think
There's
on
a
the party
extension.
sheet, I can, no, it's not even an extension. I can do this.
There we go.
There you go, and now I've got 5 advances.
Boom.
Sweet.
Okay.
As far as what you took, there is an extension
There.
that's called advances or whatever, and it just puts an extra tab on your uh, character sheet there, and you can track what you took at each advance. But it's not. We don't have that running here, so I just put it in notes.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was gonna do. Well, I was gonna put it like right under, not notes, but I'm putting it on my my main page, and then I'm just kind of, you know, I'm just gonna put a, I don't know, I guess a star for number of advances. So if I try to put let numbers on there, I'm gonna be like, wait, 31? What? Never mind. So it's my own way of doing things, so I don't mess myself up. But
We all
looking.
have our quirks, Nabes.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Oh wait, not attacks. I want traits, and actually, in notes I have my wish list. Oh God, which one do I want?
By the way, I brought my special coffee cup, just for. Of course, it's the camera's going to try to blot it out there, but let's see.
Ah.
your hockey cup?
Mm,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
You
of course
just
she's a
yep.
Rangers fan. Yeah, she's Eastern
Well,
Conference. So.
and also what do you
Well,
call it?
now Wild,
Wild. They're pretty
and
cool.
they're in our division. So, and there's a little bit of a rivalry between the Blues and the Wild.
Well, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah, but we got Dubes, so damn good goalie. But we don't have any, as far as I know, they're not doing anything right now. If I'm correct, because half of them all got COVID, so.
Well, yeah, that really changed. I tell you what, I'm kind of boycotting NHL because you can't watch it on television this year if you don't have direct TV.
Right?
So I'm like,
That's
that's
okay. I'm annoyed because I was all excited about the Olympics, and you can't watch it live unless you pay for Peacock. And I'm like, you know,
All right.
I'm also boycotting that simply
well,
because, yeah,
I
I'm
like
not
it.
going to get into the political things. Bad
No,
place to do that.
but no, we don't do political here.
No
But
political, no religion.
I do.
No, not here.
Yeah. Okay, I want that.
Unless you want to talk about Federation Klingon treaty negotiations. No politics here.
Or or the fact that the English and the French are in our world are currently kind of okay until
Well,
you know
everybody's
Napoleon
picking sides on the
pops his
War
head
of
up.
Spanish Succession right now,
Yeah.
trying to decide who gets to be on the Spanish throne and all the attendant wealth that goes with that. Because right now, Spain is fat in wealth.
Spain is
Mhm.
probably the most wealthy country, has the most colonies. Yeah.
They dominate where you're headed. Oh, and by the way, let's talk about where you're headed. Let me
All
Yeah.
right.
bring up a map here.
Going south where it's warm. At least we could be warm in game.
We're not going south anymore, are we?
No, you're not going south.
I thought we were heading west. Go west,
Oh.
young man.
Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna do a persuasion for the dude. We got off on another.
You know, the dude.
All right.
The dude.
Yeah, two of you. Let's see.
Oh no! Can I Benny that?
You can. Well, I had already taken Alistair's role and was going to tell you he moved from unfriendly to uncooperative, which is slightly better.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want him to go back to unfriendly.
Only one role will really apply there.
Okay.
But had you been successful, you would have gotten Alistair a +2. Hint, hint, hint.
See,
hint,
yeah,
hint,
that's
hint,
what I was going for.
hint.
Hint,
Now
hint,
let me
nudge.
flavor up how
Control your dice.
Alistair approaches this with Jeffers. So, you know, early on as they stand together and you know, they probably stand up on the you know, stern castle together and speak, both of them being officers and you know, and he'd start questioning him about religion at first, and then it might tip a little towards the unexplained, the occult, and you know, so over the course of a couple of days, he would have been kind of priming him, softening him up for what he's about to reveal, because even Alistair himself is still not certain he believes what the hell's going on, because this is just so unreal. But
Okay, you're going to. I mean, he has seen evidence of the unreal. You guys just had a very eldritch encounter with the fish people,
fish people.
and the bewitching of one of your members, and who then claimed him as their own.
He's going home.
And as I said, that will be revisited when you guys pass back this way. And yes, how it played out will have a bearing on how it plays out in the future. There was more than one way that could have gone. Anyways, let me share with you this lovely map of the Caribbean. Now,
Ooh.
I have to ask, where are you guys headed? Because as you can see, most of the Caribbean is dominated by the Spanish, but there are some British ports and a very few independent ones, such as Nassau.
I was gonna say we should go to Nassau, but
Nassau,
you know, I don't know nothing about it. So
is way up over here.
Yeah, it's
The first,
no,
the
Nassau.
easternmost town is in Bridgetown, Barbados, which is a British port. But
Right.
you guys have to understand that
we're wanted.
you may or may not be wanted this far west. You don't know if word has traveled here or not. And what kind of flag are you guys running under right now? Are you still running the yellow quarantine flag?
That's
Do you want to
Nassau.
hoist the Union Jack?
We should probably hoist the jack.
I'm gonna hoist the Union Jack because I'm still a loyal Englishman. Well, as much as
I mean,
a Welsh, you know, a Welshman can be
Uh,
at this
He's
point.
a taffy. Oh, you hate
Yeah.
the English. What are you talking about?
we could
Well,
go to
I do, but
Havana. No. So Nassau's way up here.
Yeah. Nassau
Oh, I
is
don't think.
all the way up there. Yep.
Way the heck up there. Okay, how do I get rid of that?
Well, how long we've been traveling? Would a little bit longer make that much of a difference?
I'd say you've probably been traveling a week and a half. I
Yeah.
didn't keep track of the exact time because we were moving at the speed of thought.
That's okay. I mean, well, I'm just saying, in the speed of thought, would it take that much longer to get to Nassau if we wanted
No,
to?
but you would have to sail through an awful lot of Spanish and British water to get there.
Well, we could leave the yellow flag up.
Well, you got
Until-
Florida is all Spanish, so everything north of here is Spanish all the way
Right.
up to the colonies.
Mhm.
Now, remember that you are tracking somebody else that came west. The most likely first port of call they made was Bridgetown. So,
Which
if you are
is
going
okay
to,
down
it
there.
is way out here on the east end of the map.
Right. It's. Yep.
Yes.
Oh.
Switch over to the chart room so everybody else can see the map too.
Well, gang,
And that would be the most likely place to catch the scent of your quarry. Because they will
Right.
have most likely gone through there, especially being a British, Navy vessel. And so, do you want to head there? Do you want to try your luck with the Spanish port? Or do you want to push all the way to Nassau?
I think we should. Maybe we should head to what's that port there with the arrow?
Bridgeton.
Bridgetown.
Yeah, Bridgetown.
Bridgetown,
Yeah.
Barbados.
And see if we can
That-
find any more information regarding the other ship. Who knows? Maybe it's still in port.
Mm.
Yep.
No.
I mean, that is
So-
our primary objective at this point. It's to track down that ship. So
Right.
if that's where we think they were heading, their first port of call, that's where we would go, I would assume.
Excellent. All right. You adjust your course, headed to Bridgetown. Make me a boating check, Alistair.
Boating check. Can
Yep.
do.
Somebody can assist him. Maybe.
Yep. Everybody can assist him, and the crew counts as one assist.
Okay, so I will. Let's just have Napes and Stitch give me theirs. Oh, well.
Well,
Yeah, my boat. Unless you want me to. I mean, I could use a Benny.
I'm
guess.
gonna
No,
help.
no, don't
I'm
worry.
gonna do the navigation thing. So
What are
you help
saying,
him
Nate?
with boating. I do the navigation.
Which is part of the boating, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, it's all rolled into boating. So your
Ah.
successful boating roll would be navigation, and are you keeping me on course?
Gotcha. Whoop, that's not what I want.
And then the
Hey.
crew.
She adds a +4 to your roll.
Oh shit.
Yeah, baby.
Well, you know what? To keep the crew happy, let's give them some downtime and extra ration of gin. And the officers will run the ship for the day. We'll give them the day off. So I won't even have them roll, and hopefully this goes well. I'm sorry I didn't put the +4 in. Dang it, which is a 7.
7 is a success.
Yeah.
Thank you, Names.
So
You are
a
welcome.
few days later, you guys will spot in the distance a few ships as you approach the shipping lanes.
I'm
Nothing
I'm
more
up in
than
the-
masts in the distance, and none of them seem interested in closing with you.
Yep. I'm up in the crow's nest with the spyglass.
Napes,
Looking.
you can give me 3 notice rolls to see what you spot out there on the sea.
Okay. Is
What
this
colors
what
do
the...
they fly?
Right. That's what I'm going for. Good thing I didn't take like colorblind, huh?
Well, I don't know. It's got a line here. It's a little darker gray up here.
Right. I get that +4.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Oops, get off there. There we go.
All right.
What
You
we do?
spy mostly English and Dutch merchantmen,
Yeah.
but you did see one ship, also small, like yours, not flying colors.
Ooh. And I
Mhm.
report all that as I swing back down to the
It was on
thing.
a northwestern course, and you only spotted it for a moment. But there is somebody operating in these waters without colors, probably a pirate of some kind.
Probably. All
All
right.
right.
Well, we
So
must
again,
be
are you guys gonna
close to a shipping lane then.
what flag are you going to fly as you come into Bridgetown?
The Jack, Union Jack.
Yep. Because chances are nobody here knows what we did
But you know what
back
would be
there.
nice to have?
Hmm.
A Dutch West Indies merchant flag. It'd be nice to have one of those. Just saying.
Well, there
Maybe.
are Dutch ships in the harbor because as right now, I don't believe the Dutch are at war with anybody.
And I think the
Yeah.
Dutch West Indies was a company. Was a
Um.
Yep, just like the
Hmm.
you know
East
the
India Tea Company.
mhm.
the British
Mhm.
East India
Right.
Tea Company and the British West India Company. Yes, they are. Well, they are all private corporations owned by the crown,
Ah.
just like all of Canada was owned by the crown.
It is so easy to forget as Americans because our history in schools as we were growing up didn't really cover much of it. But there were no the crowns of each country owned everything at this point in time. They decided who could farm the land and who had a title to rights to property. And what a nice map, man.
It is. This actually came out of the Pirates book. All right, so you guys sail into Bridgetown under the Union Jack. You can see the port is not too busy this early in the year. And I would imagine as you come in, you would have to wait for the harbor authority to assign you a berth before you can dock, or you can drop anchor in the bay, as most people do,
Yes,
and just go in on a longboat.
that's my vote. Drop anchor in the bay. Um, drop drop the jolly boat or the dinghy, longboat, whatever.
Jolly boat.
Vote
Rowboat.
rowboat.
Something.
We
Yeah.
Yeah.
how are we on stores right now? I mean,
I
I'm
would
sure we spent
say
a month crossing, right?
you're probably getting down there. The biscuits you got are starting to get a little stale. You probably had to throw out a few moldy ones.
The Weebly ones.
You're down to your last few pieces of fruit. Um,
Mm.
you've been, eating fish that you net from the side to get some fresh. Um, you're definitely going to want to take on fresh water and
Fresh water and
fresh
produce
rum.
is what I'm
Yeah.
looking for. Rum, produce, and water primarily because without the fresh produce you end up with scurvy and a sick crew and you get nowhere.
Yes. All right.
Lions keep really well.
Yes.
Like,
Limes
coming
keep really
coming
well.
from the Brit.
What keeps really well?
Lions.
Well, there's a reason. That's where the term limey came from.
Limey.
Yep. Because they sucked on
Ah.
limes to keep themselves
The
from getting
British sea vessels
scurvy.
kept barrels of limes to keep scurvy away. Yes.
Ah. Okay. I'm gonna say I don't think we're gonna get limes in Britain, but
No,
you
you're
know.
not in Britain, but yeah, actually,
Oh, as we
Europe
pull
had
in,
citrus.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
Spain knew it was.
Italy and Spain, but we didn't stop
Yeah.
there.
Well, we did stop in Portugal.
Commerce is commerce.
True. But as we're pulling into port, I'm scanning, when we get close enough, I will be scanning ahead of time for the ship that we're looking for.
Make me a fresh notice roll for that. As you guys
Okay.
come in, you can notice that there are a couple of British warships, a number of British and Dutch merchant
Okay.
vessels, and
Uh,
some of them bearing the British colonial flags as well.
Hmm.
And so you guys will drop anchor. Who all is going ashore and who is staying with the boat?
I
would
can
be up
go
to
either
the
way.
captain. That would be up to the captain. Although she'd
Oh,
look
that's
really antsy about wanting to go on shore.
all right, Napes. Just stay out of trouble, but you're pretty good at
Mhm.
you know, the rubbing elbows with the underbelly, shall we say?
Are you suggesting that I'm?
I'm suggesting that you're crafty, and you can probably find the answers we're looking for.
Okay.
So,
That
so the portrait, when Alistair left, he probably didn't have facial hair. I mean,
Hmm.
And as an officer of the crown would have kept clean shaven, short hair. He's kind of let all that go because he's trying to hide who he is. There's people that know him. Doesn't want to get caught, so he now appears like his portrait, more like his portrait. And Stitch, what do you?
Well,
No, I
just-
mean, I'm kind.
I want to go back and revisit something earlier because I got sidetracked. When you made your persuasion roll, I had said that if Napes had made hers, it would give you a bonus enough to
Yeah.
make it a raise and move his attitude up another notch. And I wanted to give Napes the opportunity to Benny at that roll if she wished to do so.
I would like to do so.
Because I thought you did, and we got sidetracked away from
did.
that.
Yeah, we did. So I will. Okay, clicking on that doesn't work. I can't click on one now.
You should just be able to click and
Drag
drag it
it.
into the chat.
Or drag it right to your
okay, I have to
skill.
drag it. There we go.
Yeah, you can drag it right onto the skill roll, and I think it re-rolls.
It will.
So go ahead and make your re-roll.
Okay.
That is a success. All right, you guys were able to, before you reach Bridgetown, actually get Lieutenant Jeffers to neutral. He has decided that he has watched your actions and has not seen you to be the person that everybody claimed you to be, and has started treating you with a certain measure of respect. He has moved to neutral. He has no particular attitude towards or against you, but he will expect fair compensation for anything that he gets involved in. And at this point, he fears that, you know, the British Navy probably either thinks I'm dead or a traitor. And if I show my face and am seen with you guys, it will definitely be the latter. And so it's in his best interest to see you get your, or not hinder you in getting your name cleared. He will help if he has to, but he's not enthusiastic about this at any rate. And he's still a dick.
Um, I'd like to talk to Napes and Stitch in private as we approach Bridgeton and say, look, right now, yes, Jeffers is a dick, and he is what he is. Although he is a loyal subject to the crown, and we did promise to safely put him ashore. We could do that here, or at least give him the option. But before we do that, I think I'd like to lay all of our cards on the table and have him make his own decision whether he wants to try to see this through to the end or gain his freedom right now. And I would even be willing to go so far as to write a letter of, hey, we took this man prisoner and we've put him ashore. He holds no guilt.
But if they don't believe us back in your Britain, why would they believe a letter from us? They would just say, I don't know.
You have a point. You have a point.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Right. So,
Wait a minute.
I-
Are you saying I got a bad comb over?
I don't know.
no, not you. Maybe he
It's
does.
getting pretty shaggy though.
I imagine Lieutenant Jeffers looks a lot like Gary Busey, with the attendant bad English accent that Gary
Oh,
Busey
God.
would probably
Oh my God.
Oh, that's
See,
awful.
An Oklahomian. Isn't he from
Now,
Oklahoma? Or
I
now,
have
is
no idea, but Gary
Is it
Busey is
young
fucking...
Gary Busey
Actually, yeah,
or
we'll say it
psychotic now Gary Busey?
We'll say it looks like his son, Jake Busey, who looks like young Gary Busey.
Okay. Because I was going to say, is he kind of like, now Gary Busey or back when he was a little more, there?
Age appropriate. Let's
That
put
too.
it like that.
I'd like to see Gary Busey and Alec Baldwin spend the night drinking and conversing together.
Oh my God.
Have you ever watched any of the drunk history videos?
Oh my God,
Where
yes.
they get history professors drunk and have them give
Yeah.
history lessons?
Well, not even, or history professors or people that know a lot about a certain type of history or whatever. And one of my favorite ones is the one with oh my God. Jeez. Firefly. Captain Reynolds. Malcolm.
Oh,
Nathan.
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 Yes. Too funny. They get
Alright.
anyway, so
You guys are going to,
another time.
what, let Lieutenant Jeffers know everything? I'm going to need a persuasion roll from
I'd like
this.
I'd like some insight into where he's standing before we. We've got
I'll say wait.
3 weeks or a month of crossing here.
I'll say wait.
Yeah,
I
I
will
imagine whatever this is, it will have been resolved by the time you reach port.
right. And I'll say, insight. You need information. Wait
And
one
yes.
moment, and I'll pull
You
out
will
my little
notice
bag
that,
of
he didn't
bones.
seem particularly rattled about, being attacked by fishmen. Not the way the rest of the crew was. It took them a couple of days to settle down, but Lieutenant Jeffers handled it like maybe he hasn't seen that before, but he's seen some shit.
Gotcha. But I'll say, I will see if I can get some information. See if the gods are willing, and I'll pull out my little bag of. Since it's just the three of us, I'll pull out my little bag of
Make me
rune
a spirit
stones.
check.
Okay. There we go.
Okay, are you looking for guidance on whether or not to,
Basically to tell what, not so much guidance, more as a
you,
what
you,
do I
you get this sense that,
the sense of him,
withholding information could be seen as betrayal. That's what it'll get you.
Okay. We should most likely tell him everything we can. Otherwise, if it were to come out later, it might seem as betrayal.
That's yeah. Let's over
Feel like
dinner.
we're wooing an NPC.
I mean-
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I
Come
mean,
to the
it's
dark side.
right. I
Huzzah
don't
to the
think he
tipper.
will
Thank you.
be too. I mean, we just fought fishmen, and so how
Let's
how
just
much more
put it out there.
odd can you get?
Yeah,
And if
let's
he-
just tell him. Let's just tell him the deal.
If
All right.
he's not good on going to his own ship,
Well,
or
we'll give
the
him the
Navy,
option. He can
then-
either stick with us or he can find his own passage back to England.
Oh.
There are plenty of ships
Well,
at this port.
yes, yes. Although saying it a little nicer might be.
Well, obviously, I'm.
Perhaps you shouldn't talk to him, Stitch.
No, I don't want to talk to him. You don't want me talking to him.
Martian Cat, thank you for the tier 3 sub. 40 months. Wowzer, wowzer, wowzer.
So does Napes have the? How persuasive is Napes? Pretty persuasive.
Pretty good.
She's
pretty
6, not as persuasive as you.
No,
Let's
but
let's have we'll have a nice we'll select a nice calm evening where the ship's just nice breeze. We'll spread the food on the deck. Everyone's eating. Our sailors that are with us were with us at the time that this
Baboonsky,
weirdness
thank you for
happened,
the
correct?
sub. 32
So they can
months.
support our story.
Okay. Give me that
Yeah.
persuasion roll, Alistair. I've got modifiers in mind automatically for
Okay.
everything else set up. And given the taking time, I'm going to assume automatic assist from Napes.
Yes.
Unless you wish to make the persuasion roll, in which case a raise or better will additionally modify it, but that gives you the chance of failure.
yes.
I got faith in you, Napes.
Oh Lord, here we go. Remember, I belong to the Will Wheaton School of Dice Rolling, so here goes nothing. Woo!
What was that? What was that you said?
Hey,
Alistair
maybe
just
that's
sits
what I
back
need
and
to
lets
do every time now.
Alistair just sits back and lets Napes take the conversation by the helm. He's like, oh, she's got
Pretty
this in
much.
hand.
I
Oh,
was
no,
going to say,
I just-
Alistair, go ahead and make me a persuasion roll with a +8.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So you're automatically going to get a raise, and it could go up from there, unless you critically
damn.
Oh
fail.
my God!
Oh
Seriously?
my God!
See, that's
I
why I
said,
didn't want to
like-
say nothing. I just
Use a penny.
I can't.
You
You
can't
can't.
penny a critical
Yeah,
failure.
it's
Oh,
it's a critical fail. Oh no! And I'll just say, Captain, you're
All I'm going to say
you're
is
scaring him.
we
Can I
are
can I
going-
use a card?
Yes, you can use a card.
Ooh, there you go.
That will counter a critical failure. All right, so that's a raise plus the 8 is 3 raises. After a long night, you are actually, by the end of it, got Lieutenant Jeffers all the way to friendly. He will go
All
out
right.
of his way for you. He likely does simple tasks for very little and is willing to do more dangerous tasks for fair pay or other favors. He is not at helpful, but you may now consider Lieutenant Jeffers a part of your crew.
Oh, nice.
And the bonus is he is a wild card, so he is, way more capable than your other crew members.
Yep.
Cool.
And
Yeah, he
at this
He
point,
gets like real rolls.
he will stick with it. He will stick with you until, he sees your name cleared.
Very nice.
He's still an asshole, but he's just directs it at other people now.
Yeah, he's just not an
well,
arsehole
that's
to
cool.
us.
He's just not an asshole to you anymore.
All right.
Well, every ship needs an asshole.
Right? That's why we invited him.
I mean, I can see his.
Hey,
I can
look,
see his
Stitch, you don't have
usefulness.
to be the asshole anymore.
Although he still kind of has this bit of arrogance because, well,
Well, yeah,
he's a Marine and y'all are just sailors.
yeah.
Except for you. The girl on the ship is still bad luck, although he says it more in jest than actually believing it now because he's kind of taken a liking to you, Napes. He kind of treats you as his little sister now.
Oh boy.
Because of
Okay.
that phenomenal persuasion roll, he has
Thank
decided that he needs to look out for you. And he
Little
might
does he know
actually
I can
he might
run
go the
rings around
actual
him.
extra mile to save your bacon where he might not do that for anybody else on the crew.
Awesome. Okay.
Anyways, you guys come into port. Who is going ashore and who is staying with the ship?
I'm going.
I think Alistair will stay with the ship. I think
Okay.
that's more of his strength is just, you know, maintaining some control over what's, if I need to flee this harbor real quick.
Are you gonna send any of the crew ashore?
Sure, as many as Stitch and Napes wish, and Jeffers can go too if he wishes.
Well, I mean, yeah, most
Let's get-
sailors would get paid and go ashore. Or
Well,
something.
let's give him some shore leave,
Or let me do
and we can do
this.
some sneaking
Now
around,
I
mate.
never gave you guys your starting money. Starting money for a novice character is 500 gold. You guys were seasoned, so I'm going to say this came out of the stash of gold that Lord Trevor had aboard the ship when you stole it. But you guys will have 1,000 gold each.
Wow.
Holy shit! Let's just go to another country and retire.
Except
All
for
right.
if you do that, Lord Trevor is going to get the last piece of what he needs to bring the world
That's
to
right.
an end, and then you won't
Yeah, we
retire
don't need
for
that.
long.
That's right. Oh,
Okay, so she's never seen so much gold in her life. She's not.
90.
I know, right?
So we'll say that you guys are sitting on. You got a nice little chest of gold stashed down in the you know, in the
In the
boat
cap.
somewhere.
In the
I was gonna
officers'
say
quarters.
somewhere in the captain's cabin.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Something
that
that Jeffers didn't find when he was living on the boat.
Cool.
kind of a community cabin, really. This little boat.
I was going to say that the men will
Well-
probably sleep below deck, but we'll probably take the
Right.
where we beat Jeffers up originally.
Yeah.
We'll just sling
Yeah,
our
watching
hammocks up in
Sven's
there.
cracks in the
Yeah.
chatter
I mean,
cracking me.
yeah. I mean, she's all good with, sleeping with the crew or whatever, but if it's probably safer for her to be in with you guys than down with a bunch of salty sailors, so.
Well, the crew all kind of treat you like their little sister.
Okay. The fact that
Like I
we've
said,
had
you're an adult, but the fact
the-
that you're
sort-
small
yeah,
means that
Yeah.
even though you're an adult, they don't see you as such.
right. Well, and I mean, she's not, by today's standards, she's not, legally an adult. But by those standards, yeah, she's been an adult for several years. She could have been married off. So, she could have had, 4 kids at her feet by now.
All
But-
right. So
Let's see.
Alistair staying with the boat? The lieutenant will stay with the boat for now too. We'll say your longboat will hold 8. So
It takes at least 3 to sail the ship, correct?
it takes at least 3 to sail the ship. It can be done with fewer, but the ship takes penalties for doing that.
We need to
i.e.,
keep at least 3 with us. Jeffers, myself, and 2 of the sailors. We'll keep 4, and then when the other 3 sailors come back, we'll let them take their shore leave.
Okay, fair enough. So, Napes and Stitch and three of the sailors, you pop into the rowboat and you row up to shore, and there's a pier for rowboats. And as you guys head up there, Stitch, I will take a notice from you and one from Napes. And Alistair, which of the three crew members did you send? I'll take notice checks from each of them as well.
Let's see. I'm just going
See.
to pick the first three: Bernard, Gunny, and Jones.
Sounds good.
I'll use one stat block. They're all the same, aren't they?
They are.
Okay, at this
Okay.
point they are. Notice
Yeah.
All right. Okay. There we go.
there's Bernard, there's Gunny, and there's Jones.
Okay.
No.
And I'm just doing the regular notice roll without the extra
Yep.
because we're not on the ocean.
All right. You do notice as you guys pull up to the pier that there's one, there are people moving up and down the docks, loading up fishing boats and going about their daily business. But there are a small group of people down at the end of the pier, standing, looking out towards your boat. I'd say about half a dozen of them. It's a cool spring morning. Um, they're dressed as typical dock hands. Dungarees, a light tunic, a sun hat. But rather than going about their work, these three are just kind of standing. And you see one of them kind of point out at your boat. And to be clear, your guys' boat, the sloop John A., belonged to a British nobleman before, and it is a fancy boat. The rails are all fancy wood
It's
carved and
Purdy.
polished. It is a purdy boat. It does kind of stand out a
Get
little
sexy.
bit.
So it's
Yes.
got it's a very sexy boat. So it's got like gold. What do you call it? It probably
Yes.
has
Gold leaf.
the gold
It
accents and
has a
all that
gold leaf
stuff.
figurehead, masthead, and yes.
Yeah, what kind of masthead do we
We
have?
could probably sell those.
Do we have like the naked lady? Do we have like a dolphin?
I think we've got Neptune on the front of our on the front of the boat.
Very cool.
Let's see now, Lord Trevor. What would he have had on the front of his boat? Probably what looks like a war horse, the head of a war horse in armor as your ship's masthead.
Ooh, or a
That's cool.
is it hippogriff?
It would have been a war horse or a lion, one of the two. I think you would have had a war horse.
Okay.
Now these mastheads, were they like the mastheads that you would find on, a Viking raider ship that can be taken on and off? Or
Yeah, it's usually mounted to
Is
the
it?
fore of a ship. Yeah, it could be removed and replaced. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, replace for.
That's
Yeah,
why I said
it
we could
usually
probably sell
hangs-
those.
It usually hangs from, I think it's the jib. I know. Well, she's got the
Hang on.
little diagram that'll name that the forward
Yep.
spar that comes out.
Yeah.
Hang on, I will tell you in a minute.
I really need to get this on the table. The jib boom, the bowsprit. It usually mounts just off of the beak on the bowsprit. But that's a big boat, and your
I know.
figurehead isn't very big, but it's basically, it's like the hood ornament on your water Cadillac.
The forepeak or beak. So that's where that is.
So they're
Water
probably
Cadillac.
just admiring
Yeah, your ship
boat.
is drawing some attention. Yes.
because it's pretty. Okay. Well, that's okay.
Is it
Just you
party?
have noticed that your ship has been noticed.
Right.
And as you pulled into dock, have a look around. Hop up onto the dock, tie up your rowboat, and the sailors, all three of them, look at you guys, and then start headed towards a sleazy looking building just down the road from the dock that has a big sign with a painted tin cup on it.
They are going for spirits.
It appears that they are, even though it is early in the day. Um, and as you guys are, looking about, where are you guys wanting to head?
Well,
Well,
go ahead,
I'm
Alicia.
actually down under ship. I'm in the cabin, kind of changing my appearance a little bit.
Did you not go ashore with the shore group?
Yes, but I am. I don't know if I sent you that other picture, but I am going to be putting my hair up under a thing. I'm gonna look more
Boyish.
boyish
Gonna look
than
more
girl.
like a cabin boy.
Okay.
Yes, it's
Fair
kind of
enough.
safer that way.
But it looks like Ensign Stitch will be the guy who's running the show among the. So as you
Right.
guys come up onto the dock, Stitch, you hear a voice behind you say, "Excuse me, mister. Is that your boat?"
Not my boat.
And you'll turn around and you'll see a young boy about 17 or 18, and it looks like he was part of the crowd out watching the boat, and he's kind of, moving towards you. He's like, "Not your boat. Whose is it?"
Captain's boat.
"Captain's boat." Captain's a rich man, is he?
Maybe, maybe not. Just got a nice boat. That's all.
I see. Well, top of the day to you. And they will kind of nod and go back and stand at the end of the pier. Now,
Sorry, I was gonna say I'm gonna look up at Stitch and I'm like, we should watch him.
That don't look right.
no. So
No.
where do you guys want to go? You have a number of places. There is, there's a number of ale houses, including the one that the soldiers went to. There's a house of ill repute. There is a lodge house where you could get rooms. There is the harbor master's office, where you could, inquire about harbor business. There are a number of warehouses along the dock if you are looking to buy or sell cargo or maybe garner information. There is a marketplace, and there is just wandering the streets trying to gather information. How do you guys want to go about it?
We divide and conquer. Should we stick together? What do you think?
Well, the majority of the sailors are gonna go and hit the bars, pretty much. So.
Well, I'm figuring the guys, sailors are gonna go do what sailors do on leave. They're gonna go get laid. They're gonna go get drunk.
Exactly, and actually have like a hot meal.
I mean, I don't think we've tasked them with trying to find our.
No, I think Alistair sent them ashore specifically for them to get some shore leave.
Okay.
Yep. Because it's been a long journey.
Oh yeah, it's been 6 weeks at sea. That's a long time.
It is. And
Yeah, with pay. What are we paying them anyway?
Oh, I'll have to dig that chart up, but there is actually a chart on wages for sailors and such. But
we're just going to pretend they've been paid then, and well.
Yes, they have been paid. We will hand wave that for now. They've got enough that they can afford, a warm lady and a cold drink. Or a warm man if that's such to be their,
whatever they want.
Their preference.
Oh, by the way, Jingo, I took the Edge fleet-footed.
Very good, very good. That's a nice one to have.
Yeah. My pace is increased by 2, and I roll a D10 instead of a D6 when I'm running.
I'm familiar with that one.
Yes.
Character I played in Marb's game had exactly that edge.
Yeah. So,
All right. So where are you guys headed? And while they're doing that, Alistair, give me a notice check.
Oh.
All right, you guys are biding your time in the harbor, watching the ships go by. Nothing untoward happening on the ship right now. Okay, Napes and Stitch, what do you want
yeah.
to do?
Well, maybe we should, go to the marketplace and see if there's some, fresh food
Well,
to
it's either
bring.
there or we head off to the bar and see what the scuttlebutt is there. Because I mean, role playing game bar, they're kind of
Oh,
synonymous with one
yes,
another.
that too.
Yeah.
We can do
Because
that.
I mean, let's face it. After long periods of time at sea, sailors want to let loose. So
Well, yes.
maybe maybe the winner of the bar. Maybe our sailors would have noticed them at the warhouses. I don't know.
True.
All right, you guys head to
Head of
the
the bar.
tavern, and you can see two of
There
your
we go.
sailors are in there, and they've got a mug of something in front of them, and they're rolling the knuckle bones on the tables and having a good time. You can see maybe half a dozen other patrons in the establishment, sailors and laborers and such. This is one of the lower end establishments. There's one gentleman over in the corner, propped up on a stool, picking on a stringed instrument of some sort, and
Hmm.
nobody pretty much pays attention to you. Um, I will take first notice checks as you guys come into the bar.
All right.
Yeah, I can't notice my hand in front of my face.
We'll
Hey,
do
you beat
him this
me.
time.
Look at you.
And you guys will both notice as you come in, um, there in the back corner are, you know, two ladies sitting at a table, rather overdressed for the occasion, so you can probably guess their profession. And shortly after
Hmm.
you guys come in, one of them will get up and leave out of the back entrance of the bar. And the other one appears to be particularly eyeing you, Ensign Stitch.
Oh, she is. I'm a fine jib of a man. Uh, hey, I think Napes, you should go follow that other gal
Oh,
since
all
you're
right.
all stealthy and
Um,
and
what are
whatnot.
what are you going to do?
I'm going to charm this one
And
because
I
I
look
am
at I
absolutely
look at
charming.
him, I look at her, and I look at him, and I say, I think you've already done that.
Well, I'll see if I can pump her for information.
Aha!
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Puns get a Benny every time.
Woohoo!
Oh Lord.
Yes, it's that kind of game.
Yes, it
Puns
is.
get a Benny every
No,
time.
it's that kind of Jingo. I think Jingo likes
That's
puns.
true. That's true.
Well, it
All
was
right.
really easy as well. That was
So
low
I'm gonna
hanging
kind
fruit.
of, yeah, I'm gonna kind of, make my way through a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna stop at the bar, and I'm gonna find something other than gin.
You won't find any gin here.
Oh, good, because she has not drank. She drank like one little sip of the gin and thought it was disgusting, and
They've
hasn't.
got rum, and well, if you talk to the barkeep, He might have some other things, but mostly they're pouring some sort of yellowish looking beer.
Ah, I
But
will
he
try
does
that.
have rum, and he has a couple of other bottles of some sort of brown liquor on the top shelf.
Yeah, no, she'll take the stuff that looks like beer because that's something she's somewhat familiar with, at least
Yep,
at
it's
home.
beer. It's cheap, watery American beer. It's not a good
Ah,
British
so
bitter.
Budweiser then.
Yes, it's not a good British bitter. It's not a
Yeah,
good northern, stout.
yeah.
It's
It's not
American.
a
It's American piss beer.
yeah, but it's better than gin.
It is better than gin. You won't find any gin here.
Okay. All right.
Although I'm
So
sure you still have plenty of it on board your boat.
yeah.
All right, so you
So
slip off to follow this girl. Make me a stealth
yeah.
check.
All right. Where messed up? There it is. Oh yes.
All right. This woman slips out the back and slides down the alleyway, 2 or 3 doors, and slips into the back door of what looks like the whorehouse.
Ah. So
Actually,
I
she
just
goes
kind of
up to the door, knocks in a peculiar pattern. Make me another notice check.
all right.
Yes, you did see the pattern. It was 2 knocks, pause, knock, pause, 2 knocks, and the door opened, and she slipped inside and shut the door behind her, but not before she stopped and looked around, not noticing you following her because she didn't beat your stealth check.
Okay. Cool.
But you saw her go in. It's a 3-story building. You can see some, like the French Quarter type balconies on the
Okay.
3rd floor that are just big
Mhm.
enough to step out onto.
Right.
Iron
There's
lace.
yeah, there's some windows on the 2nd floor that are shut and curtained. But you do see one of the 3rd floor windows with that French balcony is open, and you can see some red curtains fluttering.
Okay.
All right,
Um.
let's hold that thought. I'm
Yep.
gonna switch over to Stitch for a moment.
Oh yeah. Yeah. By all
Stitch,
means.
this lady of the morning is you know, she's wearing a fancy silk dress and a tight bodice that you know pushes things up and out, and she's got well coiffed hair, and she's made up and has the little coquettish fan, and the long eyebrows, and as soon as she catches your eye, she'll get up and she'll come over and kind of pull a chair real close to you and slide in at the table and say, "New in town, sailor?"
I've been here once before in my youth, but I'm new this time round.
Say,
I,
perhaps you need somebody to show you around, and she'll slide her hand to a very compromising place in your lap.
and I will blush and kind of, Madame, I'm simply looking for some information. Maybe you can help me with that. And I will reach into my pouch and pull out one of my gold coins and slide it across the table to her.
And she will put a hand over it and make it disappear somewhere into her ample bosom, and she'll say, "What exactly information are you looking for?" And she'll give your thigh a squeeze.
And I'll inquire about that ship and if she saw it or any of its passengers come to port here.
Oh, yeah. Cheeky fella. I remember them. Yeah, they came through, let's say it was about a week ago, they set out. Didn't hear where they were going, though. Although they did speak to Mr. O'Reilly down at the dock. He had some words with them. Perhaps you'll want to talk to him. Meanwhile, and she'll say, I think I still owe you a balance on that information. And she will give your thigh another squeeze.
And I'll take a hand and say, lead on.
And she will lead you off into a back room. All right, let's go back to Alistair for a moment. Alistair, you're sitting on the boat. You and Jeffers, probably playing some sort of cards or something, whist or something to pass the time. And make me another notice check. So you guys kept two of the crew members back here, and I
I'll give me
imagine
that.
they're on watch. Give me notice checks for the other two on watch.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let the sailors do that first, which would be Rupert and Smitty. Oh, Smitty.
You see, Smitty says, "Sir," he'll come to knock on your cabin door.
Hi, Smitty.
I thought I saw somebody or something in the water below the boat a moment ago, but I don't see them now.
Alistair looks at Jeffers, pulls his pistol, begins to load it, pulls the arm up on his chair, stands up from the table. Shall we have a closer look then?
Okay. You go out onto the deck and make me another notice check. One for you and one for each of the soldiers.
Right.
Alistair, there's a strange sound, kind of a grinding. Ooh, wow. Kind of a grinding, squeaking, kind of an odd sound. Make me a common knowledge check. Or if you don't have that, an unskilled check.
Common knowledge, I do.
You hear a
I don't think.
sound. It's kind of like a weird kind of a keening, kind of a grinding sound. I'll take let's see if Jeffers has common knowledge. He does
Yeah,
not.
it's
So-
funny. It shows those notice rolls all coming from Alistair. So
Oh yeah. And all of a sudden, the noise stops and there's kind of a popping, rushing sound, and then you hear the sound that sounds like
water
running
coming.
water
Oh.
running. And Lieutenant Jeffers says, that sounded like an auger. And you realize that, well, your boat is starting to list ever so slightly to the side. Make me another
fuckers.
notice check. You look over the side and you can see a small figure swimming away underwater with a piece of something metallic in their hand. And In the murky water of the harbor, it doesn't take you long to lose sight of them. But a quick discovery will reveal that somebody has augured a 3-inch hole in the bottom of your boat and it's taking on water. Not
You
a
need to patch it.
dire situation, and it can be patched, but had it not been caught, your boat would have taken on enough water to probably be swamped in the harbor before you could have done anything about it.
Smitty, join me, Rupert. Work the bilge. And Smitty and I will go down and try to locate the hole, which it shouldn't be hard to locate
Nope,
it.
just spewing water right in, and it's just a matter of, nailing new boards down on it and pitching them down. So it's, it's the repair, but somebody tried to sabotage your boat.
They did.
How well can someone hold their breath from shore to where we're anchored out in the thing? Because we're not in port.
All right.
People skilled can be like sponge divers, Greek sponge
but
divers.
there are other fishing boats and small rowboats and all kinds of other traffic out on this harbor, so you're not out in the middle of nowhere. But
I'm looking for someone climbing up into a boat is what I'm looking for. Well, no, I'm below deck. Never mind.
Yeah, you're below deck. Somebody definitely tried to sabotage your boat. But yeah, I looked up. You guys can hold your breath for a number of rounds equal to 2 plus your vigor die. I don't know if that's a number of rounds or a number of minutes, but a number of rounds, I believe it is. But yes, you guys, somebody with an extraordinary vigor could probably hold there, especially somebody that, because I believe, fleet-footed also applies in the water. You swim faster.
I think so. Yeah, I think so
as well.
It does.
You swim faster as well. But all right, let's move over to Napes. You're standing in an alley. There's, a few cats and a stray dog back here, but no people.
Okay. I will I'm just gonna go back into the bar, but from the front.
Okay.
Maybe. Or no, I'll sneak back in the back. Just so it looks like I went out and, emptied my bladder or whatever. Because there's not going to be
a... in and you don't see the lieutenant. You don't see Ensign Stitch around. Or you also don't see the lady either.
Okay, and I'll look at that and I'll just kind of give a little bit of a half grin and say, okay, well.
Roll your eyes, probably.
All right.
Hey, whatever. And I'll just be like, maybe you won't be so crabby now.
We are right at about halfway. So let's take a 10-minute break here.
Okay.
And we will be back shortly. Those of you out there in Twitch land, bear with us. We will be back in a few minutes.
All right.
What does that button do? I disconnected myself from Discord. What does that button do? I disconnected myself from Discord. What does that
Funny how that works, isn't it?
Hold on.
Funny how. I'm on you.
Had an audio loop going. All right. So, let's go back to Ensign Stitch. Ensign Stitch, let's look at your hindrances and see how you are. Let's see. No, you're not. Okay. Ensign Stitch, make me a spirit check. Okay. Now make me a vigor check. Oh man.
We're gonna be here for a while.
You guys are a match for each other, and you go at it for a while, and as you're sitting there after you're done, you're both all, you know, sweaty and, you know, just thinking about things. She starts plying with questions, asking, so, what ship are you on? Who's your captain? Things like that, but, you made your spirit check, so you were still, cognizant enough to know that, she's
Have a couple
asking
of
some
beers.
pretty personal shit.
Yep.
And you, for the most part, were able to rebuff her. But you will later find that you are missing 5 more gold coins.
Yeah. Well.
As you know, she did seem to be pumping you in for while you were pumping her, she was pumping you for information, and but she didn't seem to get any from you. And then you head back. I would imagine head back down to the inn because she just pulled you into one of the back rooms upstairs. Meanwhile, Napes, you come back into the inn and you don't see Ensign Stitch anywhere.
Right.
Um,
Who are any of our guys in there? Because I know we had
yeah,
Jones,
yeah,
Gunny, and
yeah.
Bernard.
Yeah. Jones and Bernard are still sitting there, playing dice and drinking.
Okay. So I'll just kind of see them, and I'll just kind of, give a nod, and I'm going out, and I think I want to go up to where the shops are first.
You want to head into the marketplace. Are
Yep.
you looking
Sorry,
for something in
marketplace.
particular, or
I
are you
am.
just looking to,
Well,
cruise for information?
I'm cruising to get the lay of the land, so to speak, and because she's never been down here before, and she's like, "Wow, it's kind of hot down here," because she's been in Iceland most of her life. But she's looking for like different maybe fresh fruits, vegetables, something like that, just to get a
Oh yeah.
a sack worth of yummy things.
All right. Easily done. While you're down there,
Yep.
make me a notice check.
Okay. Also keeping an eye out for nefarious people. I'll take that.
You notice that while you're in the marketplace, you happen to turn around. There, standing in the crowd a little bit away from you, is the very same woman you followed back to the whorehouse, and she doesn't appear to notice you, but it's strange that she's right there.
Okay. So I'm gonna do like the keep a half an eye on her, but pretend like I didn't see her, and go and go to just a couple of different places and just I'm just gonna buy some stuff, but I'm gonna keep an eye on her while I'm doing that.
All
If she
right.
goes to leave, then I will make my way towards her, or towards that direction. Kind of a
So you're gonna follow her. You're gonna stalk her, basically.
Oh well, yeah. I just want to see. I'm like, all right. Is she out here looking to
Stalk
turn a
us.
trick, or because like
Make
her?
me a smarts check.
Oh, that might not work well. Okay, cool.
You would almost you kind of maneuver around in a crowd to follow her, and it seems like the way she's moving around the crowd, she's trying to follow you, but she's not as good at it as you are.
Gotcha.
So she hasn't realized that you're onto her,
Right. She doesn't
or at
realize
least you
that I.
don't think she has.
Right.
All right, let's go back over to Alistair. Alistair, you guys come back up on the deck, and you're looking around, and you can see one rowboat kind of rowing back towards the pier that has three people in it, and one of them is kind of standing up looking back in your direction, but it's too far away to make out who they are.
Okay, I want to. I'll discuss it with Jeffers, the other two sailors, and I'll say keep an eye on those. How many are in the rowboat?
There were three. There were two rowing and one standing.
Let's see where they go.
All right. They look like they pull up to the same pier that your longboat pulled up to. Other side of it and down a little bit, but you can see them go up onto the dock and join another small group that's kind of milling about at the dock that don't appear to have any other purpose than hanging out at the end of the dock.
Do they look like they're watching all the ships out here
Yes,
in the harbor?
exactly. It seems like that.
Okay.
It's kind of too hard to tell. Um,
I'm
it's
going
see,
to
you
discuss
don't have a spyglass, and I don't know if Napes took
Right.
hers with her.
I did not. It'll be in my hammock. So
You would
whether
know
or not
where
you
it
know
is.
that, yeah, you would know that.
Well, it would be in the cabin that we all share. So
Yep.
yeah,
It'd be in
I'll
her chest, because I'm sure she
so
would have. We will have our own chests in there.
Yeah, you get if you spy with the spyglass, you get the impression that it looks like a group of young thugs scanning the harbor for
easy marks.
opportunities. Yes,
Right.
and it's not a deep water harbor, so if somebody's boat were to sink, it wouldn't be hard for somebody who was a strong swimmer to go loot the wreckage of it later.
And I'm talking this over with Jeffers now. I wouldn't say this among the sailors, but I'd say, we could approach this two ways. One would be to, try to thwart their efforts. The other would be to lure them into a trap, swing them to our side, and now we've got people in this port. Contacts, so to say.
Jeffers actually looks a little bit surprised at that. He's like, and this is the riffraff on our side. I'll admit, Alistair, that's not something I would have thought of.
I will discuss it with the other two when they get back. But, I know Stitch. Sometimes it takes him a while to... Well, never mind.
Jeffers will say, although I will express my reservations at working with the those that are undisciplined and of questionable moral character.
Absolutely, and I do agree with you. But I think in our circumstance, we have to make concessions.
Don't I know that? All right, let's go back to Stitch. You come back down, and your lady friend does not come back to the area. You see your other two crewmates are sitting there. They're both kind of leaning to starboard a little bit because they're 3 or 4 cups in. Um, but you don't see Napes around.
Hmm.
You also don't see the other lady of the evening that was in here, or lady of the morning, as it were. What would you like to do at this point?
At this point, I'd probably want to get back to the ship, but I'd probably want to find Napes first. So,
Jones will say something. She said
uh,
something about going to the market. Maybe you can find her there.
okay, I'll head out to the market then.
All right, you make me a notice check.
You kidding? I can't notice my hand in front of my face.
No whammies, no whammies.
Big bucks,
Except
big
that you
bucks.
do.
Oh,
You know, because of her. Well, actually, right now her hair's covered up. But
Mm-hmm.
you don't notice Napes in the marketplace, but you do notice the other lady of the morning. And she's kind of moving through the marketplace like she's following and watching somebody. What would you like to do?
has she noticed me?
She has not.
Hmm. Can I see who she's following?
You cannot. You didn't make a high enough notice check.
Uh,
You'd have to beat Alethia's or Nape's earlier stealth check to see her.
yeah, that ain't happening.
Not unless I critically fail.
Oh yeah. Um, can I follow her for a bit and see what she's up to?
Absolutely. Make me a stealth check for that.
Hey, look at you.
And you are real good at that. All right. With that good a stealth check, you can get, right up near her at one point, and you do catch a glimpse of Napes. Make me a smarts check. Let's see if you figure out what Napes is doing.
Probably not. Nope.
No. But, no, she appears to be following Napes around the marketplaces. Nape stops at various, stands and peruses things, and then moves along. And, this cat and mouse continues. Are you going to intervene, or are you just going to follow and see where it leads? And meanwhile, Napes, I'll make another stealth check as you trying to play cat and mouse.
Right.
I'm gonna follow for the time being, see where this leads.
I realize that that's a kind of a success, but I'd like to Benny that. I need a little bit higher than that.
Oh, and I did
So,
some checking, and with the exception of a critical hit, when you throw a Benny, you can use either roll.
okay,
With a
that's what I
with a
thought.
critical failure trumps all. If you critical fail, it ends with the critical fail and is
You're
locked
done.
there. You're done.
Oh,
Right.
Lord.
So you want to spend another Benny, or do you want to go with your basic success?
I'll go one more. Louise.
And you
Okay,
got a
well, I
basic
guess we're just
success.
going with that. All right, never mind.
I think
All
the
right.
universe is trying to tell you something.
Yeah, just go with it, kind of a thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I did ask a question earlier, but I don't think you saw it. What different languages are they speaking in this marketplace? Like, I'm sure there's
French.
got to be
There's
some.
primarily English with
Oh,
some Dutch and Portuguese, a
okay.
smattering of French. You might find somebody here that can speak Spanish, but not typically, no.
Okay. So, all right. So I would understand the English and the Dutch. because the first ship I was on was Dutch. So
Yeah, this is
I
primarily an
learned
English port, so primarily English is being spoken.
that. Okay.
Some of it
English
with
with
that
a
funny American accent, but yeah,
mm,
that funny Virginia
oh,
accent. But
really? Okay.
or
I was
very
gonna say
some of it's British, but yes, there are some colonists here as well.
okay. I was thinking maybe it was more of a like a Caribbean flavor to the, at least to the marketplace. Like the people selling would be that.
There might be some, but this was not an occupied island before the British came. So
Oh.
it doesn't have a native population.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Never mind. See, that's what I was thinking. Is that's
No, there are plenty of occupied islands. This was not one of them.
gotcha. All right.
All right.
Um.
So you rolled a
So
4, and this is
yep.
what happens. You're kind of sliding around the marketplace, leading this other woman on a married chase, and you slip around a corner and run smack dab into um, an impressive looking woman,
Hmm.
nearly 6 feet tall, um, well built, has a you know long flaming red hair, dressed similar to the other ladies of the evening, although she's a little bit older.
Hmm.
And as you know slip, you know a look behind to look at this other lady, you turn back around and run smack into this woman, who will put her hands on your shoulders and say, "Well, now, Sonny, where are you going?" And it's obvious she does not yet realize you are not a boy.
Right. Yep. And that's the whole point. And I'm gonna reply in Dutch. Actually, nope. Because I'm startled, I will reply first in Icelandic, which nobody's gonna pretty much understand, I'm
No,
guessing. And then,
she doesn't.
yep. And then I'll stop and then I'll try Dutch. And basically, see, I don't know if either one of them are gonna understand it,
And she
but
will squeeze your
and I'll say
shoulders and
something
say,
like,
"Come on, boy. My lady's heard you speak the Queen's English. What are you about?"
just getting some fresh food. 6 weeks on the on the water gives you a
What ship are
taste
you
for some
sailing with?
my captains.
And Stitch, make me a notice check. While you're talking to this woman, you can see you can feel another presence move up close behind you. And
Okay.
There it is. Sorry.
Yep.
you
And
feel
say,
a prick that could only be the edge of a knife touch your spine somewhere about midway.
look,
And
I don't want no trouble. And I really don't need your services. Thank you. I'm sure
mm-hmm.
you're
And
lovely
she'll reach up
women.
and say, "Bernard told me to be looking for you." And you would recognize Bernard as the first name of Lord Trevor. And she will reach up and pull your scarf off, letting your pretty red hair fall out.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. I
Wait a minute.
think you'll
Oh,
be
hang on.
coming with us. Perhaps your captain would like his cabin boy back. Stitch, you see, you know, Napes, she's playing cat and mouse with this woman, and after a while, you realize that she's been kind of leading her around the marketplace. Napes turns and runs into this,
Behemoth.
looks like Peg Bundy in a pirate outfit. Tall, very buxom, hot redhead, slightly older. No,
The spandex
No,
monster.
the
I know, right?
spandex monster.
Not our Bernard.
You said Peg Bundy. I thought you said Ted Bundy. I'm
Oh
trying to figure out the
Oh
connection.
my god!
Was Ted Bundy a cross-dresser? I don't know. But
Well,
He
you
could
never
have been.
know.
No, I don't think so, but you never know.
So it wasn't our Bernard, right? It was.
No, yes, no. His first name is Bernard. Actually, was it Bernard? I'll have to look up. Anyways, she
Okay.
mentions the first name of Lord Trevor. Um,
Hmm.
all right, Stitch, what you see is she runs into this woman, and then the other woman, the other lady in waiting that was in the bar, moves up behind her and obscures your view of Napes. And then they start moving off through the crowd because Napes, she got the drop on you with the dagger, which means that if you make any wrong move, she's going to stab you with it.
Yep.
And they
I got
start
that.
frog marching you down an alley. Stitch, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna follow. Intercept.
All right.
Can I?
Make me a notice check. You realize the precarious position she's in, that this other woman has a knife poised at her spine. And if you make a move on this woman and don't incapacitate her, Napes is going to get stabbed. But obviously, they don't want to kill her because they could have if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can smack her in the back of the head with my belaying pin.
are you actually carrying your belaying pin around town?
Yeah, it would have been tucked in the back of my belt.
All right, so you pull up this nice big wooden club and chuck it at the back of her head. Make me an athletics check. Bonk. All right, I'm going to say, let me pull her up here.
That'll get her attention at the very least.
All right, that is a hit with a raise. So go ahead and click down by the modifiers. There's a little d6. If you click on that, it'll light up and say plus damage. Click that and then throw your damage.
Hold on a second. I've got to find where my... Oh, there it is.
If you can get at least a shaken, she will drop that knife.
Okay, and is she on the combat track? No, she isn't.
Oh, no, she's
I'll just
not.
roll it.
Yeah, just roll it. I'll apply.
Nice.
8. Let's see.
Uh.
It targeted an ichthonite, but there's no ichthonite. But no, let's see. Toughness of 5. 8 is a shaken. So, Napes,
Hmm.
you hear a whizzing sound and a loud wooden thunk, followed by the clatter of the knife that was pressed into your spine, hitting the deck. You have a moment to act. Do you want to flee?
Run, bitches!
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna like do the whole dodge and duck and run. You know, like.
All right, you guys are in an alleyway. There are like drain pipes and fire escapes and all kinds of shit. So you make me an
Oh.
athletics check.
I'm a monkey girl.
Athletics or. Okay.
Yeah, it would all
acrobat
be athletics.
Wait.
Yeah,
Oh,
there is
athletics.
no
All right.
acrobatics. It's all athletics.
Yeah. As in, there it is. Okay. Oh yeah.
Get some.
All right.
Bye.
You hit that bowling pin, and she drops the knife to grab the back of her head and turn and give you an evil eye. At that moment, Napes, leaps
I'm
up,
gonna.
grabs the bottom of a fire escape, and scrambles up it, and in mere seconds is over the roof of the building and out of sight.
Well, once I'm up there, I'm actually gonna look back over, because I'll stay there for a second and be like, okay, am I bleeding? No, I'm not bleeding. Okay, what the hell?
All right, hold
And
on. Let me
just curious enough
fix
to
something here.
over.
I'm taking some of the things off the combat tracker that don't need to be there.
Yeah, I was gonna say we still got. I'm like, oh my god, we're being followed. There's
Got a
fish people
pocket
everywhere.
full of ictonite. I got a pocket full.
Come on, old paint. There we go.
There we go.
All right, let me do this. There we go. And for now, I'm going to deal cards to start some action for you guys. Oh, I should have taken Alistair off of for this. And
Yes.
Alistair, I'll be back with you momentarily.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm keeping. Jingo, I am perfectly fine watching a good story play out. Just take it away. I'm taking notes over here.
All right. The woman, the Peg Bundy woman, will take out a knife. And is going to straight up attempt to shank you, Ensign. Oh, and she does.
Nice. Hit with a raise.
Did she drop her knife?
No, this was the other woman. The
Pretty
Oh,
good.
woman that came up behind dropped her knife. Peg Bundy didn't drop hers.
gotcha.
And she slashes through your tunic, and you are shaken. She does not draw blood. Her friend makes an athletics check and starts coming up the fire escape after you and gets about halfway up the fire escape this round.
Okay.
Your turn. What would you like to do?
All right. Hang on, writing a note. Okay. I'm going to. Is there somewhere that I can, hide up here? Maybe on something a little higher or something?
I don't know. Why don't you convince me that there's something up there you can hide under, in, or on?
Well, I'm just thinking. I just didn't know if this was just a regular flat roof or.
For the most part, it's a sloped roof with a chimney pipe. But for the very low price of a penny, there would be a perfect place for you to hide up here.
Oh, perfect. I would like it to be an ambush point.
Perfect.
Something I can maybe jump down onto her with.
Yes. There is a pigeon coop up here that you can hide behind.
Okay. Perfect.
Or actually hide inside of with the stinky pigeons.
No, well, yeah. All right.
But
Well,
the pigeons are all out mooching right now because it's daytime, so there's not a lot of them in there.
Okay.
All right, so what I want from you is a stealth check then.
Dear God.
Boom. So you slip into the
The
pigeon coop.
The pigeons don't even see me.
Yes. Stitch, this woman slashed at you, and there's another one. Yeah, she moved up and slashed at you. There's the other one has started climbing up the side of the building, but this woman has moved up to engage you with a knife.
I can do that. I can go after her with a knife. Can I try and stick her back?
Oh
I'm carrying a
yeah, let's
dirk.
do that.
All right.
She is assassin 19 on the combat tracker.
Right, let me.
Yes, Lord Trevor hired assassins to kill you guys when you showed up in town.
I don't see it on the combat tracker, Rob.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot I have to make them visible because I'm a tard. I shouldn't use that word. I'm
Number 19.
Eh.
And then to do an attack roll, I do what
you
the number on the left-hand side of the weapon.
grab, yeah, on the left hand side is your fighting roll. You can grab that and drop it right onto her on the combat track.
Okay. And it's assassin 19. There we go.
Oh,
16 is a hit with a raise. Go ahead and click that raise die and
And then do my damage.
oh yeah.
Where is she? 19. Get some. Two wounds. How you like them apples?
All right. Describe what you did to her with that knife.
I'm gonna I'm gonna jam it into her ribs.
All right, and probably twist it once for that much damage.
Yeah, just
And
crack
she will look at you with a defiant look in her eye, cough up a little bit of blood, and flop to the cobblestones, stone cold dead.
wow, cool.
Yeah.
She came at me.
You poked
Right?
her in something that wasn't supposed to be leaking, and she didn't survive it. New round, and Stitch gets a joker. About 15 feet up this 30-foot building, this other crazy chick with a, is climbing up the side of this building going after Napes, who went up there somewhere, but you don't see her now. But you got a joker. What do you want to do? You are probably...
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, they say you are probably not close enough to you could get to the with a regular
throw
run.
my dagger
You could get to the base of an. I'm going to say she is probably about 10 squares away from you. Let's see what the range on your dagger is.
Range is 3, 6, 12.
So between 6 and 12, you'll take a -4 to hit.
Oh, jeez. Well, what the hell? Where is she there? Assassin 75. That should have been a -4, sorry, so that would have been a 5.
A 5 will still hit.
Do I do
Bear in
damage?
mind yes, do damage. Bear in mind when you throw a ranged weapon, the target is 4.
Okay.
All right. Describe how this dagger hits this woman.
I'm gonna try and hit her in the thigh with it.
All right.
So I would throw it from where I'm standing up, and I mean her basically is going to be her ass and her legs are going to be the target. So I'll be aiming for her leg.
All right. Well, you're aiming for her leg, and it goes into her hip, and she lets out a squeal, and as she grabs her side, she lets go of the rail she's hanging on and falls awkwardly into the alley and makes a sickening kind of crunch splat when she hits, and she lies unmoving.
Oops.
whoopsie. Did I do that?
Other people in town, because this happened in an alleyway. A small crowd is starting to gather around and look at the two dead, bleeding whores, because that's what they look like, whores. Um, and looking at you, what are you going to do? Napes,
Um,
whoever was coming up here never made it to the top.
All right. Did I hear the sickly though
Yes,
satisfying
you heard
crunch of the
that.
person?
And
Okay.
actually, we're going to stop here and we're going to switch back to Alistair. Alistair, are you there?
There you go.
Alistair is here.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, what are you guys going to do? It looks like somebody's watching your boat from shore, or watching everybody's boats, and decided to take a shot at yours.
Well, they think it's easy prey, and I'm of course I would at this point, if Jeffers is trusting us and I'm trusting him, two heads are always better than one. So discussing everything with him and saying, hey, perhaps they could be a connection here for us. We could use all the help we can get right now, and but I want to keep an eye on them. I don't want them to know that we see them, so I'm going to take Napes's spyglass, and either Rupert or Smitty, I think it was Smitty who had the great notice roll earlier. I'm going to give him the spyglass and say, hey, just try to keep yourself out of sight. Keep an eye on that group, and
Right.
then I'm going to see if they're working any of the other ships in the harbor.
Oh yes, a couple of times you'll see like 2 or 3 of them will get in a boat and they'll sail out. They'll like row out into the open water somewhere and wait till nobody's paying attention, and then one of them
One
will
goes
slip
over the
over.
side.
One of them goes over the side with something in their hand. Yep. So it looks like this is their hustle.
That's
And as I said, this is a shallow bottom bay. You can look down and see the sea anemones and seaweed on the bottom of the bay. It's like might be 20, 25 feet deep. And in the Caribbean, the water is crystal clear and an amazing
Yes.
color.
right.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we just want to keep an eye on them, see which ships they're working, if there are any Dutch ships of, in the harbor. I'm particularly interested in obtaining a Dutch flag, and perhaps this lot might be able to get that for us if there are any other Dutch ships in the harbor.
Oh yeah, there are a few Dutch merchantmen.
Okay.
There are no Dutch Navy vessels, but there are Dutch merchantmen here.
Then perhaps the better method might be I'm going to tell Smitty to make it plain. Go to the crow's nest and put your spyglass on them. And when they look at you and when they know that we see them, motion them to come and see us.
All right. At some point in the afternoon, yeah, you'll get them to they'll notice you, and at some point 3 of them will row out, and you can see they've got their cloaks up,
Right.
hooded so that you can't really see their faces, and they'll stop a little ways out, and one of them will pull up a little leather megaphone and say, "Ahoy the ship! You want a parley?" And it sounds like a girl's voice said that.
Ah,
Love it.
So I would reply, and actually it'd probably be Rupert since Smitty's in the tower, and he would have the leather bullhorn or whatever. And tell him that we welcome them aboard, and they have my word as an officer and a gentleman that no harm will come to them while they are upon my ship. We are interested in. Well, no, that's all he's going to say. He doesn't want his true intentions blurted out across the harbor.
Okay. All right. the girl will come aboard and she will introduce herself as Sly. Um, Tall, skinny, kind of scruffy looking, um, close cropped, short hair. Um, Two other young guys will stay in the boat. None of them look like they're 18 years old.
Well,
They
the
all look
first
like
thing
napes.
I'd do is,
And she say, "Sorry about the hole in your boat. We
I,
didn't think anybody was aboard."
it's a minor thing, but it's still an inconvenience. And he's gonna slowly take 5 gold pieces out and lay them in front of him in a row. And then he's gonna
Her
take the first
eyes
one.
get this big when you pull gold pieces out.
I'm gonna slide the first one across to him and say, "That is simply for having the courage to come back when you knew that we know what's going on here." And then he's going to slide the second one to her, all the time looking at her right in the eyes across the table. And this is to ensure it doesn't happen to us anymore.
And she will take both and say, "Understood, Captain."
Now, I have 3 more here. And I'd be more than happy to give them up for certain information.
Okay, we know some things.
What is the name of the ship that Lord Trevor's on?
Oh, him. Yeah, that was the British naval vessel that was through here, the Warspite. Yes.
The Warspite. Yes. And how long ago was that through here?
I believe he 7, 8 days out they left.
Bam.
I'll slide a 3rd gold coin across. And I'll say, "How hard would it be to know where they were going?" And then I'll look at her kind of like, "I know you probably already know this answer."
And she's like, "If I knew, I would tell you. I don't know, but," and she'll look at one of those gold pieces and say, "I know who might."
Mm-mm.
I'll slide a 4th gold piece across to her. And then I'm going to reach in and I'm going to take 4 more out and stack them on top of this 5th piece. So I've taken 9 out total now.
Okay, and she will
And
say, "By the way, the name you're looking for is Patrick O'Reilly. You can find him near the harbor master's office. Ask around. They'll know where to point you."
O'Reilly. Okay. He slides the rest to him and says, "You know, it's good to have friends in different ports of call. I'd like to consider you my friend, Sly."
She's like, "Oh, now I'm the best friend money can buy, Captain."
Well, he slides the other 5 gold coins across because you said there were 9 or 10 of them. I'm assuming there's 9,
Yeah,
nine,
there were
nine
like
little
9 or
bastards
10.
up there on
Yeah.
the. Yeah. So there's kind of 1 for each of them. Although I know that the leader gets the lion's share. And says he just slides this small stack, this other 5 coins across. She now has 9 gold coins out of Cray's bag, and he says that we may be here for a day or two. We may not. If I come ashore later, I'll look you up and perhaps we can talk further.
We're always at the docks. Look around. You'll find us.
Madam Sly, I appreciate your time. And then he escorts her back over to the rail and to the gunwales and then down to her ship.
All right, you have bought yourself a crew of urchins. They for that kind of money, they will be
Oh,
loyal
yeah.
to you. And they kind of have, even though they don't have a boat, they kind of have their piratic democracy. She's the leader. She gets 2 shares. Everybody else gets a share. And
Gotcha.
their operation gets a share. Wow, Alistair, you just went totally tie-dye.
Colors wise
Yeah,
on my
there's
camera.
colors all over your camera.
Oh my God,
I'm
yeah.
gonna refresh. Hold on.
Yeah, I started to say it looks fine here.
Now, if you look on Twitch, you can see it.
It's probably on
Oh
mine.
wow, that is
Hold
so
on.
cool, man. I
It's
can taste the colors.
psychedelic, right?
I seem to
Where
have
did you get
lost you
these
when I
mushrooms,
refreshed.
Napes?
All right, now I seem to have lost you when I tried to refresh.
Retro.
Let's see. Let me come out and back in. What do you say?
Yeah. Anyways, back to Napes and Stitch. Stitch, there's a crowd starting to gather around your handiwork. What are you gonna do? You're muted. I do not hear you.
You're right, I was muted. I'm just trying to figure out, do I run at this point or do I stick around and face the music? I mean, these women attacked us.
They did.
I was just defending us, and I'm just happen to be good at defending myself.
Right. I will, once I hear the crunch, I'm gonna risk coming over to the side and peeking over.
I'm going to stare back at this
All
crowd
right,
that's
Napes,
gathering.
from where you're seeing, you can see two redcoats down the street pushing their way through the crowd coming in this direction.
Uh-oh. All right, and I look down and I can see the two women are down.
Yes, they are down. Both in
I
pools
say,
of blood.
Stitch, you wanna come on up here and take a peek at the lovely view?
Yeah, I'll
And,
shimmy up the drain pipe.
Make me an athletics check.
Find it. There it is.
Oh, yay. All right.
Oh yeah, you make it look easy.
Like a little monkey.
All right.
All right.
All right. And how many people are we talking down there?
There's a crowd gathering now. There's probably a couple of dozen, and a couple of them are pointing up the side of the building where Stitch just scrambled. And
Okay.
about this time, the redcoats show up, and while you're watching down, you can see them look at the bodies, and then somebody in the crowd will point up to where you guys are looking down, and the two redcoats will look up to see you guys looking down at them. What do you want to do?
And I'll say, hang on. Thanks, Dad, for saving me. They were being horrible. They were going to take me away and make me one of them.
One of the redcoats is like, "Oh, are you there? Come down. Come down now." And the other one will point their musket up in your direction.
I'm like, all right, don't shoot.
You can't hit the side of the bomb or one of those things.
You
guys are on the third story. You are easily in a position to be able to get away, should you want to do so.
Right, but
I think we should probably get away, considering we're not really on favorable terms with the Crown to begin with. So maybe what we need to do, because nobody really saw us. I mean, they saw us, but can they give an accurate description of us? Maybe your red flying hair, but that's about it.
Well, it is now, yeah. Did she take my scarf, or is it, like, do I still have it?
No,
okay, all right.
Anything.
Okay, just checking. All right, so, I'll say, well, it's up.
Let's take off.
Okay, and
so if you guys
we're gonna go.
You can get away, because neither of the British are any good at climbing up, and by the time they get up there, you will be long gone. And well, there might be some descriptions, so you can know that you are wanted for suspicion, both of you, in this town. So where to now?
I'd say we go, if we can, go across.
Well, I'll pass on the information that I found out from the whore to Nape, saying, "Hey, we need to go talk to this geezer here, because he may know where Lord Trevor's off to.
And
We
the
don't know
name
that
she
yet.
gave you was Patrick
Oh.
O'Reilly.
Patrick
she gave the
O'Reilly,
same thing.
same geezer.
Yeah, well, guess what? Those two were with that Lord Trevor, and they were assassins sent to kill us. So there might be more.
That's okay. We can have
You,
him.
you.
Give him
So,
some of that.
Alistair, no luck on getting reconnected.
I am
Cam?
reconnected, and I've tried to mute it and turn it on and off. You might like change scenes and go back, and it may
Let me
release
try
it and
that.
refresh it.
I see you there on the chart room.
Oh, there we go.
Yep, for whatever reason it does not want to display. So we'll just
On
go
that-
back to
wow.
the chart room for now, where we can see everybody. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm having way
Cool.
too good a time to be stressed by minor
Don't be
technical
stressed.
difficulties. All right. So at this point, Napes and Stitch, do you want to get back to the ship? What do you want to do?
So, I mean, should we go find this Patrick O'Reilly, or
She didn't tell you where to find him.
maybe go back and tell the captain?
Yeah, maybe we should, because Captain's better with people than we are, let's face it. So
All right,
maybe
what I'll
we should
need is
send...
Oh, I'm good with people.
Yeah, but he's better.
You're not.
Oh, I'm great with people.
What I will need from all of you, from both of you, is a stealth check to get back to your shore boat without really being detected.
Okay. Hey, look
Oh,
at that. You did better
easy.
than me.
So you guys can get back and get back to the ship. Your two shipmates are still ashore. It's sometime in the mid to late afternoon, and you guys can hear in the town there's a bit of a fuss in town. As you know, you heard the alarm bells for a moment, and you know there was a brawl in the streets. But you guys can get back to the boat. And as you're headed back to the boat, you pass another rowboat that has three of the teenage kids, including the girl that talked to you on the dock, and they're rowing away from your boat. And as they do, the girl will wave at you and smile.
Wait a minute. Okay,
I'll give her
originally
the one
that was
eyebrow stare.
that was a boy that you had me talk to, but
It
or
looked
at least
like
it
a
looked
boy.
like. Ah. Gotcha.
Yeah, Napes, you should know all about looking like a boy.
But then you look over at your ship and you can see the captain standing there on the rail watching them row away as you row up.
I'll
And
kind of like, as I go, and I'm like, what? Apparently the captain's been talking or something to somebody. We better find out what's going on. Because from that distance, I probably can't tell whether or not he's like actually living or just, propped up there to look like he's
no,
living.
he's standing there. In fact, he's watching you guys row back in.
Okay.
And you
He
guys
doesn't seem to
can-
be worried about anything.
And you guys
Oi!
can catch up on what's been going on with each other and
right.
decide what you're going to do from here.
Yeah.
Obviously, Alistair would share all that transpired with these urchins, the harbor urchins.
And I will give him the details of the information I got from the hooker, and then what transpired in the alleyway.
Well, and I'll say that he left assassins here to look for us. And he knew that somehow they knew that I was a girl. How would he know that?
He
She
knew
got
it'd
a
be coming.
very good notice roll. That's how she knew that.
Okay. That's kind of what I figured because I'm like, there is no way that he would know because he's never seen me.
No. He has never seen you, but he
Mm,
knows who Alistair and Stitch are.
right.
So two things, and the first thing Alistair would do is turn to the other two sailors, which would be Rupert and Smitty, and say, "Gentlemen, you heard what they had to report. Sounds like we have some assassins here on this protocol, and but I did promise you shore leave. Would you like to take it now, or would you like to take it later?"
They'll go ahead and take it now.
Okay.
Watch your backs.
We will.
Yes. They were
They
they
will.
were part of
They
the.
will use the buddy system, and usually,
Mm,
with the buddy system, usually you never leave one buddy by himself. Although there is one buddy in town right now that is went to the whorehouse, but so
We
you
would
would
tell
hope
them
he
to
is
go look for
okay.
him there. Yeah, go to this
Okay.
building, have drinks. You can get everything you need right there. Have your good time. Be back at sunrise.
Aye, Captain. And they'll get in the boat and go.
mhm.
And then I'm going to look at Ensign Bloodknock and Napes, and I'm going to say, now, the name Patrick O'Reilly seems pretty popular name around here.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that perhaps you, captains, because we're kind of known now. Perhaps you should go into port there and ask Patrick, because you're also a little more charming than we are too. I mean, I suppose I can knock him about the head and shoulders until he gives us the information we're looking for, but it'd be a lot easier if you could just be a smooth talker.
Tell you what, we need to keep our eyes open tonight, keep a good watch on the ship. We'll let the men have their fun. Tomorrow morning, the three of us, and Lieutenant Jeffers, you're more than welcome to come along. We'll go see if we can't find this Mr. O'Reilly.
The lieutenant will go along. You figure now that you have the urchins in the harbor, watching out for your ship, that it's probably pretty safe at this point, if you
Yep.
can trust them.
Well,
I think we bought their trust.
Yeah, you bought their trust with a lot of English sovereigns
Mm,
because a lot of the coins you find out here is the Spanish gold or the Dutch kroner, but in good old English sovereigns in an English port hold better weight.
now, a question for Bloodknock and Napes and the first three sailors two sailors that came back because one of them was having fun.
mm.
Did you guys bring the produce and stuff? Were you able to get any supplies?
Oh yeah,
Oh
I've got a.
yes,
Well,
supplies are plentiful.
yeah,
Okay.
I've got a bag. And I said, oh, and I've got a bag that's kind of like a sack that's got a strap, so I don't have to carry it. So it's just
I'm
strapped on me.
assuming we're going to need barrels of water.
All right.
Well, yeah.
Somebody's
I will discuss this during the week off table, but
Yes.
there's a
Okay.
whole system of cargo and units of food and how much food and water you use in a day per crew member. There's a whole system for that,
Mm,
and we can assume that while you're in port, you're going to stock up on supplies. It's all to be had here because this is the port that people hit on their way back to Europe. If you're the
right.
British. This is the
Right.
last port of call, so this is where everybody, provisions up and buys fills up the last of their cargo hold.
Right.
But
Well, I mean, what I was buying was I was just basically buying treats for everybody. So, um, before the two that are going leave, I'll hand them each like some sort of fruit that isn't from normally in Britain. I don't know. Peaches something? I don't know.
peaches from the Virginia colonies.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, so I'll give everybody peaches. And I'll say, they're good. They're a little fuzzy on the outside, but they're sweet.
Everybody will be real happy with that. All right.
Mm.
we will hand wave the evening. Um, Morning comes. Your remaining crew members come back unaccosted, all accounted for. I
A little
think the
bleary-eyed, maybe.
assassins, if the assassins are still out there and operating, maybe they, they took one to the gut when they lost two people to one guy. They highly underestimated Ensign Bloodknock and his capacity for violence. But you have everybody back aboard. The next morning comes, you guys set out, and you are headed where?
That's a good question.
Well, we're gonna head in and Napes, if you can nonchalantly, um, talk to some of these kids. Look for Sly, and
Okay.
and just ask her that could you provide a guide and get us to this Patrick O'Reilly, and then we'll just kind of stand around like we're discussing different things and kind of wait for Napes to come back.
Well,
And we can
I mean-
scope out what's going on the harbor as well.
I mean, didn't
Right?
they say that he's normally at the thing? But
Sly,
yeah,
Sly
I can
will
definitely.
pull a young boy about 13 and say, Captain, this is Jinx. He can show you around.
Alrighty.
Very good.
Sweet.
And he's a little roly-poly kid. Kind of looks like Porky from the Little Rascals.
Don't underestimate the roly-poly kids, man.
Oh, Tay.
But he
Um,
looks like a shrewd little kid. He's like, Patrick? Yeah, he's usually down by the harbor master's office. He's
That's what I thought.
he's a dock whip. He handles a labor crew. Come on, I'll show you.
All right.
And
Lead
you
the
guys
way. There's
head
Spanky.
down to the harbor master's office, and as you're heading down, you approach a dock, and there's a tall, skinny man, very, very pale skin with freckles. He has his big sun hat on and a big bushy red mustache, and he's standing talking to a group of people. Make me a notice roll.
Everybody, or
Everybody.
okay.
I've got plenty of bennies. I think I'm gonna benny that.
There you go. There. Oh yeah.
All right. You definitely notice two things about the people that Patrick is talking to, because it's obviously got to be him. He's the only Irish-looking guy here. Is that they are all of African descent, and they all have manacle scars as if at one time they were slaves. And you know that in parts of the Caribbean, slavery is still practiced, although it is a heinous crime, and I'm not sure it hasn't been entirely abolished
No.
in Britain yet, and it certainly has not been abolished in the British colonies. But
No.
these men and women that he is talking to look like freed slaves. And it looks like as you approach up, he's giving them, it's like, you go get 5 people and be down at this dock to help unload this. You go over here, and it looks like he's giving out daily work assignments to people. But it looks like everybody that works for him was a former slave.
Okay.
Well dressed? Are they well dressed? The former slave?
They're dressed like typical laborers, like everybody else on the dock. They're not dressed in the rags of a slave, no.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, no. They look like free men, and they don't look like they're in misery, and he is treating them with respect. But it is obvious that at one time they had a harder life.
Well, that would, in Alistair's mind, if he's and he treated them with some respect, right? As he
Hmm.
gave work assignments, it was a. Did these guys
Yeah,
look like they were happy to please him by
it
jumping
was
to
like
it? And
it looks like they're just look like a boss giving his workers assignments. It looks like he's the guy in charge and they work for him. He pays their wages, so they do what he says. They didn't look unhappy about it.
he's a forward-thinking man. Then
Yes. But he notices you guys standing over there on the just kind of watching him, and he'll tuck his ledger up under his arm and come over and say, "I noticed you noticing me. Who might you be?"
got
Oh,
Alistair
hair's
Cray.
back up underneath the thing. By the way,
You're back to Napes the boy.
yeah, pretty much.
Little boy Napes,
Yep,
the handsome cabin boy.
something like that. Yeah. Which on any other ship would be a bad thing as well. So they are.
We're looking for somebody,
Ah,
Mr. O'Reilly. I'm to understand.
that would be me. And you are?
Captain Alistair Cray.
Well
This be
met,
Ensign
Captain.
Bloodknock. Well met. Ensign Bloodknock and my
Comrade.
cabin boy Napes. Which actually he probably wouldn't even, to play the part, he wouldn't even introduce Napes. It would be irrelevant.
No,
Um,
I'd just be obvious.
I wouldn't want to draw any attention to you because I know your skill set.
and who might you be looking for?
Are there any redcoats on the docks here?
No.
Okay.
But the harbor master's office is right down the road, and there are probably some inside that building. Because that is definitely an office of the government.
Hmm.
But you don't see any redcoats around. There aren't a lot of them here. This is a fairly peaceful town.
Okay,
There's a
so
garrison outside of town that has a whole bunch of them.
I thought I'd have a chance to talk things over before he walked our way, but to retcon, uh,
Absolutely.
you know what? Okay, so I'd like to discuss with Bloodknock and Napes that there's two things we need to do here: is find out where his next destination is, if possible. But we need to sow some seeds of doubt about his loyalties and things. And I look at Napes like your specialty, and then we've got these kids, and I'm going to start with Patrick O'Reilly here, and I'm going to say we are hunting someone in the name of the crown. We've been set to make something right, and that person we're hunting is Lord Trevor.
And his eyes will narrow a bit and say, "Ah, I know the man. A bit full of himself, yes.
Well, then you do know the man.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah,
And
it's something.
I might know where he was heading. But
And then Alistair drops
information is valuable. And
he drops a gold coin down onto the dock and says, "Oh, look, it looks like you dropped something there."
and he will pick it back up and hand it back to you and say, "I'm not a poor man, Captain Cray. It be not your gold I want, but something else."
Is he eyeballing Napes?
No.
God.
He will say, "Come, let us talk business," and he will lead you down to the dock to a boat that looks like it has been tied up there for a very long time, to the point where it has almost become a permanent fixture.
It's just an office that he
It's
uses.
just an office. It used to be a boat, yes. And he will take you on board, and
I'm
a
gonna
couple of
stay.
times, a couple of his workers, not all of which were former slaves, but other people will come up to him and report that the assignment is done and hand him some paperwork, and he'll stop to give them another assignment, and then go about his business. And he'll take you into the office and
Okay.
pull out
I'm gonna stay
chairs,
up on the. I'm gonna stay up on the dock because that's kind of.
and he will He will invite you in, and he will pull out a bottle from the top shelf and lay out 3 glasses and pour some dark liquid in it and say, "Pleasure before business always, friend. This is the finest," they call it, "sour mash from the colonies." And he'll push a shot of whiskey across to each of you.
So this would be the first time Cray had ever tasted whiskey.
Well, you've probably had rye
Scotch.
or Scotch
All right.
whiskey, but this is the
Mhm.
first time you've had
Corn
bourbon
mash.
whiskey or sour mash.
Cray takes it, smells it, gives him a smile, whether or not he appreciates the aroma or not, and takes a little sip and savors it.
It has a very strong bite, and it's reminiscent of whiskey, but it has a sweet note to it that you've not tasted in whiskey before, and it's actually not bad. But it's unusual. You've never had quite before.
What does a man have to do to get a bottle of this?
He's like, "I'll tell you what. I'll throw in the rest of this bottle if you like my proposition. Now, I'm a busy man, and I don't have time to be dilly-dallying about with adventures and exploration and such. However, there is something I want. You see, on the far side of the island is an abandoned sea fort that once belonged to a pirate who met his bloody end in the waters not far from there. Um, he was notorious for gun running, and I have an endeavor that could use guns." And he will look out at some of his laborers and back at you. He's like, "Now, first gentleman, I must know, how do you feel about the slave trade?" And he's got a completely deadpan look on his face when he says it. Like you can't tell where he's going. But bear in mind what you've seen, that he has freed slaves working for him.
And we all noticed that, didn't we?
You all noticed that.
That's pretty clear.
It's an abhorrent practice. It should be outlawed.
It will be soon enough.
Well then, we're in agreement. What I'd be wanting is, it's rumored that in that sea fort is a chart book that belonged to this captain. A chart book that shows where he has stashed guns and other munitions that can be helped to and he will sigh and say, "hinder the slave trade." Now, as a busy man, I myself cannot make it there to do this, and unfortunately, the locals, being a superstitious lot, believe this sea fort to be haunted, and I can't pay anybody to go anywhere near it. But if you were to go there and locate this chart book, I could exchange it for information on where to find Lord Trevor.
Oh, Cray looks at Bloodknock and briefly at Napes, not to, show that he's considering
Well,
her or his
Isn't
opinion.
Napes up on the dock?
Yeah, I'm up on the dock.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it's just Bloodknocking. Okay.
Just
And
me and
Jeffers.
you.
I'm keeping watch because
Jeffers would have stayed out on the dock as well, probably. Just
Okay.
as you know,
got it.
he doesn't want to be involved in the business part. That's a captain's thing. He's a Marine, so he's going to do Marine things.
I
Is
think
he still dressed as a Marine,
no,
or did
he is not, because he understands your situation, and that would draw attention. But even
Okay.
if he's not dressed as a Marine, he's got the Marine haircut. He's got the Marine posture. You know, anybody
Hard
that
to hide
knows
that.
a Marine is going to know he is, he's that kind of guy.
He's got the marine tood.
He
The
does.
Marine too. Every time you say that, I hear Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm a fucking Marine. Um, so Cray looks at Bloodknock and he says, "Well, I don't. We have nothing here to lose. This is a win-win-win situation, then, isn't it?"
Pretty much. I don't
Show
believe
me
in
on the chart.
ghosts. Do you?
Oh, it is agreed then. And as a gesture of good faith, he will push the nearly full bottle of whiskey across the table. He was like, if you sail around the far side of the island, there are a small group of islands just off the shore. Only one of them has a structure on it. You can't miss it. But you'll have to go in by longboat because, well, there's only one channel in and out to the fort, and that former pirate captain's ship lies scuttled in that channel and is a hazard.
Alrighty.
And guys, we are at 11:55, and I think this would be a splendid place to
And for the week.
end for the week, and we can come back next week where you guys can go explore a haunted pirate fort.
Woohoo.
Good session. Good session.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun today. This was a
That was
blast.
fun.
Let's
Fun
look out and see
times.
if there's anybody out there to throw a raid on. I don't want recommended channels. Bah.
Right? Wish we could turn off some of that stuff. Gets bloody annoying.
Yeah, it's like, let's see. Nobody's out there actually running any RPGs at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let's wait on that. Anyways, let's go ahead and do our outros. If you like what you heard today, you can find me various places, among other things. On Sunday nights, you can catch me over on Spencer77 stream, where I'm playing Dr. Cullendade in his Starfinder campaign. I forget the name of the book we're in, but sucks to be me, being old. You can also find me on Friday nights over in Drake Takes channel, where I play Smedley, the Ranger Scholar. And
Smedley.
last and most importantly,
And he keeps cutting out for me. I don't know about you, Phoebe.
Yeah.
oh, that's,
Me too.
I stopped for a second there.
Ah,
Third and most importantly, you can catch me every Thursday night and every Saturday night over on Martian Cat stream, where we play choices and do a bit of voiceover acting. Muy fun. In addition, don't let me forget, our very own Captain Cray, Marbanya, also runs a Savage Worlds game on Thursday nights. He's got a great cast of characters over there. They're a lot of fun. Do check him out. Now, let's see about rating somebody and checking out for the evening. I think we're going to throw a surprise raid on my friend Paxton 2000. Looks like he's doing some retro gaming over there. Tell him Jingo said hey when you get there. And crew, thank you for joining me today. tell Twitch goodbye, and we are moving down
Bye,
the road.
Twitch.
Okay.
Bye, Twitch.
Bye.